It's that time of the year. Welcome to my 2023 end of the year science fiction book awards. Now, this is not gonna be a list of my favorite books. It's gonna be a lot more fun than that. We're gonna look at different categories, give out lots of awards. I'm gonna loosen up. I don't need this jacket. Let's get right into it. The award for my most fun science fiction read of 2023 goes to none other than In the Lives of Puppets by T.J. Klune. What an amazing story. Fun, entertaining, laugh out loud, funny, almost throughout. Good story front to back. Great characters as well. Right from the beginning, the characters are established. Found family vibes. If you love it, you're gonna have a good time with it. I think it's a good book for beginners as well, people who are new to science fiction. There's a lot to latch on. It is kind of a retelling of Pinocchio.
Did you take it by any chance?
Yes, Papa Geppetto. I'm sorry.
There's so much to this book to be enjoyed. I didn't love everything about it, but I liked a lot. It's a great book. And surprisingly somewhat, it actually won 2023 Goodreads Choice Award for the best science fiction book of the year, beating out Lightbringer, favorite to win, beating out Scalzi's starter villain, which I'm happy about. I enjoyed that one, but I enjoyed In the Lives of Puppets so much more. The Ferryman it beat out, Murderbot, it beat out a bunch of other stuff. So congratulations to In the Lives of Puppets, congratulations to TJ Klune on winning. I loved it. It's my favorite fun read of 2023. The next award is one that no author wants to receive, so let's get it out of the way. Let's not linger on it. My biggest disappointment of 2023 was Ascension by Nicholas Benji. On its face, it should be a book that would really appeal to me because it connects two things that I really enjoy: mountain climbing and science fiction. And unfortunately, it gets both of them wrong. There are problems with the book. There are mistakes in the book. The science fiction part starts off pretty good, but it fizzles. The climbing part is wrong from the beginning to the end. It makes no sense. Clearly, Nicholas Benji did not research this book the way he should have. So I was very disappointed. I was angry at the book.
How dare you!
Because I wanted it to be so good. It's a new release. It was released in 2023. I don't recommend it, but if you've read it, if you have different thoughts on it, let me know. And let's move on to the next one. Okay, with that out of the way, we can get to things that are a little bit more fun, like the next category. Actually, I'm gonna throw out some names and let's see if you can figure out what the next award is going to be. Southern Reach Trilogy, Silo, Wayward Pines, The Final Architecture, Red Rising, Sun Eater, Stormlight Archive. I know it's not science fiction. Ooh, I'm probably forgetting a couple of others. Do you know what the next category might be? Of course, I'm talking about my favorite new, started this year, series. This is a tough one, probably the toughest one. I was flip-flopping between a couple of them, but the award is gonna go to Christopher Rucchio and The Sun Eater. And guess what? I haven't even finished book one. I still have like 70 pages to go, but I'm loving it so much. I know I'm gonna love the series. And book one, Empire of Silence, is fantastic. It came to me at just the right time after I read some really dense science fiction books. And this one reads more like a fantasy, a bit. The world building is expansive. It's just a fabulous story. Character development is awesome. There are nuances to these people. It's excellent. The world, the universe, the galaxy is fabulous. The story is great. I'm captivated. I'm loving it so far. Christopher's writing is on point, really good without being too flowery. It is interesting, at times arresting. It is a great combination, and it's a series that I'm really excited about. I love many other series that I mentioned, all of them. I mean, Southern Reach was incredible, mind-bending. Of course, Stormlight Archive, Sanderson's is a fabulous fantasy. I'm loving it as well. Red Rising has a lot of promise, but yeah, Sun Eater, Christopher Rucchio, number one. Okay, the next category is kind of interesting. I read, I think, 65 books last year. Most of them, well over 50, have been science fiction reads, but only one or two of the books that I read qualify for this category. I'm talking about my favorite cozy read of 2023. There could only be one winner for this category. I'm talking about Becky Chambers and Psalm for the Wild Build. It's been a year since I read it because I read it in January, one of my first reads, but it was awesome. It was eye-opening. Solar punk. So much coziness. I wasn't ready for it. We're drinking tea. We're talking to robots. We're having a lot of easy fun. It put me in this contemplative mood. The book was really nice. It had a fantastic tone. I really enjoyed it. There was no fighting, no epic battles, no spaceships. It was cozy. It was slow, but it had a heart. It is my favorite cozy read of 2023, and I am gonna continue to read more from Becky Chambers. Let me know if you've read any of her books. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Now it's time for new releases, science fiction books that came out in 2023. I read a few: Ascension, Starter Villain, In the Lives of Puppets, Whaleful, The Ferryman. We're not gonna give multiple awards, so In the Lives of Puppets is not going to win. So it's really between two books, Whaleful and The Ferryman by Justin Cronin. Whaleful was a ton of fun, an interesting premise with a whale swallowing a human. But my favorite new release is going to be Justin Cronin's The Ferryman, a proper science fiction book. I really enjoyed it. It was interesting, possibly slightly bit too long, with a fabulous twist. Now, I have seen that twist before, but still, it was interesting. It was done very well. The writing, the prose is excellent. The book is good beginning to end, in my opinion. Very interesting read. I recommend Justin Cronin's The Ferryman. I don't think enough people are talking about it. Can one live on a diet of science fiction books alone? Well, I certainly don't want to. I've read quite a few books outside the genre, standouts being Outlived by Peter Attia, a non-fiction book that I think is really changing the way folks think about longevity. Another excellent book was 5 Decembers by John Castrol, I think. Fabulous mystery that takes place during World War II. Also a beautiful romance in that book. I highly recommend 5 Decembers. Mapping the Interior by Stephen Graham Jones. I read a few of his books this year. This was a good one. I guess it's a horror, but it really tackles the plight of Native Americans right now in the US, living in poverty often. Then of course we have Brendan Sanderson, fantasy. I read 2 of his books from the Stormlight Archive, Way of Kings and Words of Radiance, both big books. Fabulous stuff. I'm gonna continue with the Stormlight Archive next year. But my favorite non-science fiction read of 2023, and hence the award, goes to John Williams with Stoner. What an incredible read. That was a book that surprised me. It's a book that really touched me in a way that I didn't expect. It's a book that when I think about it now, I still don't understand why it left such a powerful mark on me, because the book is kind of slow, not a whole lot happens, and things that do happen are not always things that you're happy with. Our protagonist, Stoner, is someone who in some moments kind of gives up on life, on his family, on his daughter specifically. It's a book that is full of melancholy, but it's a book that it feels and rings true. While I was reading it, I would often read something, close the book, and sit back and think about it. And it's been several months since I read the book. I'm still thinking about it. It is my favorite non-science fiction book of the year. So the next category is the biggest surprise read of the year. And here, open to interpretation. I could go with the biggest positive surprise or the biggest negative surprise. On the negative side, we have Stranger in a Strange Land, which I didn't enjoy. Such a classic Heinlein. I couldn't finish it. I gave up because I just wasn't enjoying the book. I didn't like author's voice, his politics being pounded into my head. So I quit. On the positive side, we have quite a few surprises. I've read a lot from Ursula K. Le Guin over the years, but Light of Heaven is a book that I read this year, and I loved it. But the award for the most surprising read of 2023 is going to go to Stephen King with 11/22/63. Now this is a reread. I read the book when it came out, and I didn't remember it. I thought it was good, but I was surprised that it wasn't good. It was great. I loved the story. Time travel aspect was done really well, and the romance was beautiful. I also liked the ending. Stephen King, some of his books, he struggles with the endings a little bit, in my opinion. Not here. 11/22/63 ends in a satisfying way. What a great book. I really loved it. It's my surprising reread of 2023. Diaspora, Deepness in the Sky, The Invincible, Death's End. But the award for Best Hard SF Read of 2023 for me has to be Tau Zero by Paul Anderson. I really enjoyed the book. Beginning to end, it was fantastic. Not everyone agrees, I know. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts on Tau Zero and any other book I talked about previously. Let me know your favorites. But going back to Paul Anderson's classic, Tau Zero just has this scope, this imagination, the guts to tackle this big idea and see it to a fantastic, mind-boggling end.
Shut up, brain, or I'll stab you with a Q-tip.
It's something that I was trying to imagine as I was reading the book. I don't want to give anything away, but we're on a ship. It is an epic science fiction journey. I really enjoyed it. It's my favorite hard science fiction book of the year. I can't wait to read your comments down below. Let me know if you agree with my choices, if you disagree. Let me know what your awards would look like if you were using some of the same criteria that I was. I'd love to read your comments. Leave a like, subscribe if you haven't. This is my 2023 first annual book awards. It's been a lot of fun. I'm gonna put together a list of my top 10 science fiction reads of the year, a proper list. Very soon. It's gonna be out before the end of the year. I hope you check that out as well. And as always, thank you for watching.